My name is Heather Berlin. I am 27 years old. I live in Streetsboro, Ohio, which is about 30 minutes southeast of Cleveland, and I teach 7th grade health and physical education. Throughout the year and a half I have spent in the EdTech program at Boise State, I have gotten married, we have bought a house, and we are now expecting our first child in February, which, if you ask me, is perfect timing to complete the program. When I was searching for graduate programs, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I decided I was really interested in what I could do with technology in my content areas, especially since health and PE have a reputation of not being as important as other areas. I felt as though if I learned more of how to integrate technology to create stronger 21st century learners, it could help to make my classes more relevant and meaningful to outsiders. I know someone who recommended the EdTech program, and after I looked into it and found that the EdTech Master program was all online and affordable, I knew Boise State is where I wanted to pursue my degree. I'm not sure I even realize how much I have gained and grown throughout the EdTech program. Since I'm only in my 3rd year of teaching, everything I have learned has become part of my daily life as a teacher, so I didn't have a lot of adapting to do, like someone who goes to this program after having 10 years of teaching under their belt. I guess you can say I have taken my learning for granted, and I don't realize this until I'm with my colleagues and they ask questions that I know the answers to. A lot of my growth comes from assignments throughout each of the courses, forcing me to try new things and work with new tools that I wouldn't do on my own, which is obviously the point, but I am grateful to have been pushed and challenged in those courses. You can see examples of my learning through my portfolio. Here you will find artifacts that align with the AECT standards, along with many artifacts throughout all of the courses I have taken. Here is the rationale paper for each of the artifacts. And then you will also find the reflection video, which I am doing right now. When I entered the program, my expectations were to become a better teacher in order to provide my students with an enhanced education. In my last elective class, EdTech 543, it really hit me that it is actually more than that. My accomplishments correlate with this diagram I created for an assignment in 543 and how everything connects to one another. What I have learned gets passed on to my personal learning network, or my PLN, which consists of my colleagues, educators from other districts, and my growing social network, and obviously my main target, which is my students. However, it doesn't stop there. The cycle continues. If I have learned something from my PLN or my students, then I have to continue to share that information to others. I have learned the importance of staying connected and creating digital footprints. There are always classes you take that you may not actually use in your real-life setting, but in the end found it to be useful somehow. There is that saying that any knowledge is good knowledge, and I have found this to be true with all of the classes I have taken throughout the program. Even the ones I would think to myself, what is the purpose of this class? By the end of that class, I have always gained something from it. There are a handful of classes that I have found to be most meaningful. EdTech 502 was one of them. I will more than likely not ever code my own website since there are so many options for already created websites out there, and I can't explain the frustration that I experienced, such as the validating process, entering the correct codes for what I was looking for, and the amount of time spent in front of a computer each week. But every time I finished an assignment, it was such a rewarding feeling, and I would look forward to the next assignment. Having completed 502 in my first semester was a motivating factor for the rest of the program, and made me wonder what else was I going to learn. EdTech 533 is another course I found really beneficial. This was the first class that I took where I started to implement what I had learned into my teaching. I didn't realize everything that was possible to do with YouTube, and the possibilities lit a spark in me. EdTech 541 was a great learning experience every week. This course really opened my eyes to many different tools and resources out there to enhance student learning. EdTech 542 introduced me to project-based learning for the very first time. Though I am still in the process of figuring this teaching method out more in depth, I am excited for the change it is going to bring to my classes. EdTech 543 has been one of my favorite courses. I didn't realize how much you can gain professionally through social networking, the importance of staying connected, leaving digital footprints, and how fun it can be to use social networks in my own classes. As I have mentioned, I started to implement what I have learned throughout the program immediately as I learned new skills and how to use new technological tools and resources such as YouTube features, special effects, types of blogging, Twitter as professional development, and for student use, and more. Having learned so many new ideas at times, it is overwhelming to think of putting it all into place, especially since I am a new teacher and still trying to figure out my units. But there are many things I want to integrate that I have yet to do as well, especially since my district has went one-to-one with Chromebooks this year. Some things on my to-do list include creating more project-based learning, lessons and units, integrating more of other content areas, using Twitter to showcase student learning and spark dialogue between one another and continue my own professional development, having students create videos that I can use in my classes, integrate more videos than I already do, use interactive media in my lessons, and more. Something else I have on my to-do list is to present at the annual Ohio Association of Health, Physical Education, and Dance, known as OPHED, convention that I attend every year. My plan is to present what I do in my health and physical education classes that integrates technology and other content areas using technology based on everything that I have learned throughout this program. The technology sessions are always a hit, and I have yet to see anyone present on information that I plan on presenting on, including, so I think teachers will find it very beneficial. Thank you to all the faculty in the program for contributing to my professional development and helping to make me an enriched educator. I really appreciate all your hard work, time, and effort in helping us succeed.